Berkshire Hathaway shares hitting a record high today, now up 19% so far this year. The gains come as shareholders arrive in Omaha for the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting tomorrow. CNBC senior markets commentator Mike Santoli is already there, sampling all the See's chocolates and looking around. What's sort of the feel of this year's meeting? There's so much going on in the markets.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Berkshire kind of operating from a position of strength here. You mentioned what the stock has done. The valuation is rich on its own basis, but you can sort of see why based on just the financial strength, the defensive characteristics of the business. And then as more time goes on, the optionality, the option embedded in Berkshire for something happening down the road, an unlock of value, whether it's a big acquisition, whether it's a huge buyback, whether it's just some other kind of transformative event, it grows in value. So I think all of that's coming together. Certainly people eager to hear Warren Buffett weigh in on the major issues of the day. He usually likes to really draw back the aperture and give you a long-term perspective and how many calamities and world wars he's lived through and how the markets have metabolized all those things. I think you're going to get plenty of that. Not sure how much on the individual public equity holdings. He seems to want to de-emphasize some of those moves, but clearly he'll get questions on all that.
Yeah, you know, we also let in with you, Mike, talking about the Buffett indicator, which, you know, some would say flashing a buy signal. And I would imagine that the commentary, though, from Warren Buffett himself would be very cautious about this sort of uncertainty in this environment. So it'll be interesting to see how he squares the two.
Yeah, I have to say the Buffett indicator is one of those things that I know he said it a quarter century ago. He cited the ratio of total stock market value to GDP as something that was showing that the real economy had a lot of catching up to do to get to where the market was 25 years ago. I don't think he's had an ongoing endorsement of this as a market timing mechanism. And you see right there, it's only a buy relative to the last couple of years, if that. And I also think it's lost really relevance as the S&P 500 has become more global. And so therefore, why are we comparing it just to U.S. GDP? It reminds me of the Fed model, which somebody called the Fed model, how you value stocks versus bonds in the 90s. And the Fed has never said that's how you should value assets.
Mike, you've been going to this annual meeting for how many years? At least a few, right? I mean...
Yeah, we 4 in a row at least. Yeah,
4 in a row.
A few before that.
What is your favorite? Like, you get there to Omaha, you get onto the floor there, and you head to the what booth first?
I have to say, first of all, my favorite thing is the lines that gather outside the Fruit of the Loom booth. Like, of course. What are we talking about here? It's not like you can't find the stuff elsewhere, but maybe there's a little bit of a good deal on there. But no, the See's candy, honestly, is because it's not something that I would encounter anywhere else. And so you just sort of stock up on all these sort of varieties and bring them home, and all of a sudden, you know, you're Santa Claus when I get back to New York.
Sandy Cannell just told me in my ear that toasted marshmallow is his favorite. Just passing that on in case you were wondering.
Yeah,
Mike.
Toasted marshmallow. Yeah,
okay. Exactly. It's a new flavor, apparently.
Writing it down.
Mike, thank you. Mike Santoli.
Yeah.
And be sure to watch our full coverage of the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting tomorrow right here on CNBC, and also streaming on CNBC.com and CNBC Plus. It all starts 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow.